Shema.
Welcome to Beyond Borders.
Welcome to the channel and welcome to the Poland series where we are diving a bit into a couple of places that we are going to be visiting very soon. And one of those places is Krakow, because I think 90% of you guys have said that Krakow is probably the best place to visit in Poland. And that's not me saying it, because I haven't been there and you haven't been there either. But that's what our Polish viewers have said. And we've seen so many videos about Krakow and all the amazing things that you can do there. So it's probably going to be next on the list of the places that we're going to be visiting in the next couple of weeks. And we'll maybe even incorporate Zakopane, which is around that area. So we thought, what better way to get to know what not to do in Krakow than to watch a video of what not to do in Krakow. So
that's the same thing we did before we went to Wrocław. We did a lot of research and watched a lot of videos on things to do and what not to do and where to eat and where not to eat. So I think we're starting to warm up for our visit to Krakow. So let's get into this video.
Let's hit it.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Walter's World, and today we're in Krakow, Poland, my favorite town in Poland. It goes between Gdansk and Krakow.
See, it's his favorite town in Poland. Like it has to be, because he's even saying it.
And honestly, 10 million tourists a year come here, and they're not wrong for a reason. And today what we have for you are kind of like the 10 don'ts that you have when you come to Krakow. I have a couple.
Traditional pierogi ruszkie. But one of the things that you just said now, and it's something that I don't necessarily like. Like, I don't like it when there's so many tourists. And he said there's 10 million tourists there a year. I would rather go to a smaller town where there's less tourists, and still get to enjoy that Polish feeling by having less people. Like Wrocław was amazing because we did go there in the off season, but there weren't a lot of people. And the tourists were definitely at a minimum.
Yeah. I mean, I think if all tourists start to think like us, then all the little cities and the little hidden places are also going to become overrun with tourists. So
I would rather go and find a hidden gem
and not tell anyone about it.
Maybe like something just outside of Krakow, and then you go to Krakow for like the day just to get the experience.
Yes.
So if you know any of those hidden gems in Krakow, please drop it down in the comments below.
Yes, but we don't want everyone to know, so just do it secretly.
Maybe DM us.
Yeah.
A couple more than 10, but we'll get the basic idea out there. And the first don't I have for you is, don't think just because you're going to Poland and it's Krakow's there that you're going to have this big communist, ugly kind of city. That is the farthest thing from a truth. Remember, 10 million tourists come here.
I think we've pretty much established that like in one of our first videos of Poland.
Yes.
And that is that it's not a communist country and it's actually super beautiful. There's so much color in the buildings and there's just so much vibrancy. So yeah, I think that's a pretty basic one.
For a reason. The architecture, the churches, the buildings here in Krakow are amazing. The town square, the main square, the market square, it's the largest in Europe. Okay, the cloth hall that's in the middle of there is gorgeous. The churches you go see on the square at St. Mary's, I remember the first time I went there was in 1997. I walked in there, I was a kid. I walked in there and went, oh my God, wow. I mean, jaw-dropping beautiful when I walked in. And
I think that the most spectacular part of my trip, or I know that the most spectacular part of my trip was the architecture and all the churches that we visited. Like, I was blown away by the beauty, not only of the outside, but also of the inside. I mean, everything was super, super, super beautiful. Like, all of our videos, I mean, I'll link it here in the top here, but they were like really spectacular. The churches in particular were for me some of my favorite buildings in Wrocław.
Yep. You like the buildings, I like the food.
It's like a good pairing to have.
and I saw the blue altar that was there and the blue ceiling. I'm just like, oh my God, this is amazing. And it wasn't destroyed during the war. And you go through the city and you see the historic buildings, how Poland used to look, not everywhere, but a lot of places, because this place wasn't destroyed during the war. It was basically saved for various reasons, but there wasn't a lot of destruction here, and so you get to see the traditional architecture, the churches that are around here, the squares, all kinds of things around here. That's why people fall in love with it, because it is so beautiful everywhere out there. So don't expect communism when you
are back in history. back in time.
It feels like magical, pretty magical walking through the old towns. Like they are pretty majestic. And it's a special feeling. I think that part of Poland I think that's why a lot of people go there, is because it's so unique, the experience. And the affordability is also probably a very big thing, because you get to experience this at a fraction of the price compared to other countries.
You are here, okay? Now, my second don't for you is don't think you have to pay to go up to the castle on Wawel Hill. Now, Wawel Hill is at the end of there's the square, there's the main streets and stuff like that, and there's this hill that has the castle and the cathedral on top of it, and it is beautiful up there with amazing views. But I bumped into a couple tourists down here in the main square saying, well, I don't want to go there, you got to pay to go there. I'm like, no, it's free to go up to the hill, okay? Now, you do have to pay if you want to go into the cathedral or if you want to go into the museums that are up there. You do pay for that, but you do not have to pay to actually go up it, so do make sure you walk up there for the views and take it all in from the churches and all those kind of things.
Some of the best views that we had in Wrocław were by climbing to the top of churches and sitting at the balcony. Like the view, if you think that the view from the bottom is good, like just walking on the streets, like the view from the top is just spectacular.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing, I must say. And I'm not even a building person, so...
And stuff like that. It is really a really beautiful thing. So don't worry about paying it, just go up there. But if you're going to go, the only thing really worth seeing up there is going to the cathedral. They have some of the bishop stuff, and they have some other museums up there, but the cathedral is well worth it, okay? And the sad part is my third don't for you when you come to Krakow is don't take pictures inside the churches. There are a ton.
But that should, go without saying.
Yeah, we didn't actually take videos in the churches. Like there were designated areas that you're allowed to take photos, but like it's pretty common, and also it's pretty much widely around in the area where they don't have where they have these don't take photos, don't take video signs, and I think it's just a sign of respect.
Yeah.
And also hats as well. Like I'm always wearing a hat because my hair is super frizzy. But in Poland, when you go to a church, you've got to take the hat off. Just basics. And if someone also said, like when you're eating as well, like you should take your hat off, because it's just respect. So it's like all these things that I also learn as well in Poland.
The Polish are very respectful people. And especially when we visited Wrocław, like the way that they treat their women are so admirable. Like it is so amazing and actually just so beautiful to see. Like every day you saw a lady with her husband or her boyfriend walking, and she has flowers in her hand, and it was just very nice to see, refreshing. Like simple things like don't wear your hat when you eat, or let your lady walk first through a door, or something like that. It's simple and sweet things that the Polish do that are really nice.
I think the reason that it is sweet and nice is just because that the rest of the world don't carry those traditional manners, as to say.
Tons and tons of beautiful churches, like the cathedral up on Wawel Hill and the St. Mary's in town, and you go around the city and there's tons of great churches, like behind me and other places, and you're not supposed to take pictures there. And a lot of places will have the sign saying no pictures, no videos.
I'm just looking at that background now, and it's super cloudy. Like we were in Wrocław and it was very cloudy and very cold. Like we went in like the early spring where it was still pretty chilly. Like if there's one thing that I don't want to do when visiting Poland again, is like I don't want to go in the cold. Like I want to go in the warmer weather so that you get to experience it in a different way.
Yeah, a festival. We want to go there in a warm summertime and go to a nice festival where there's lots of food.
Pierogi festival seems to be a good option.
Yes.
If you know of any really good festivals in Krakow that are coming up in the next couple of weeks or months, let us know, because I think we would be definitely interested in going to it.
And also, I can't remember exactly what it was, but there was a time of the year, it was like a day where people got thrown with water outside.
I think it's like April, something got to do with, I think Easter Monday, I think it was.
I want to go there next year and just be thrown with water, if you like that.
I want to go on like a donut day, Pashki day.
Yeah. You were obsessed with those things.
There's a lot of places that say that, but you know, you can kind of get away from it. Man, these people like here, the security guys were on top of it. Hey, there's a lady, she like literally got her phone out. You can see what she was doing the look. I'm gonna stick my phone out and get a picture. She like got it up to about here, and the guy's like, hey, put that away. So sadly, you can't take pictures of that. That's why you're not seeing too many pictures of the inside of the churches in this part of the video, because you can't take them. So that kind of sucks. My fourth don't for you is don't walk in the tourist haze, or the tourist days if you prefer. Look, you're gonna see so much architecture and so much beauty around here that you do this walk. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh.
That's pretty much me. I was there.
That is so true. And what the thing that it makes me so angry. We would be walking next to each other, and then he would start walking like a crab. He'd go sideways and sideways, walk me out of the road because he's like, look at that. And then
trying to push it towards the buildings. That's the strategy.
that is, So that is you. You are the tourist
Oh, wow.
haze.
And you do that. But the thing is, the drivers in Krakow and in Poland in general, they like to go fast. They don't, the rules of the road maybe aren't quite as ingrained in them as in other places. So you do not want to like just wander off into the street because it can be dangerous. Make sure you use the crosswalks to cross. Make sure you see, it says I can go, but also still look. Because this isn't like nice and orderly where people do those things. You got to be careful. I've actually seen more people jumping back out of the way of cars here today than I did on my last trip to London when people didn't know those cars came from the other direction. So don't walk around in that haze. Make sure you do pay attention with the car.
I'd say it's more not the cars but the trams. Like they're not very demarcated very well. You'll think that you're just in the road and you don't see any cars, but then all of a sudden there's a tram.
Yeah, but also like coming from South Africa, we were so used to only roads. There's no bicycle lanes or tram lanes or anything. And in these European cities, it's like there's lanes and roads and walkways crossing each other and like
Hundreds of people.
I feel like we almost died a few times when we visited Europe first because we did not know like where do I drive?
Where do I walk?
What is my lane? Like, where do I go? It felt so strange. Like
Take some skill.
it does take skill.
Cars here, okay? Now my fifth don't for you is on the weekends you get a lot of people from other countries coming to Krakow because it's beautiful obviously, but also because it's cheap. It's cheap to eat and drink, and you get a lot of guys coming here for their stag parties, their bachelor parties.
We saw a lot of those.
Not in Wrocław, but in other countries like Prague, Czech Republic. People, specifically the British, they love doing stag parties. In cheap countries, but I feel like they almost become super loud. Like I'm English, but I'm not from the UK. I'm from South Africa. I'm more civilized. I don't know. I'm not trying to pick on anyone, but sometimes they can get very rowdy. And it's not like I'm picking on the UK. Everyone knows that they are very rowdy, even when it comes to the soccer. Like,
Well, I guess it's a stag party, and what is the point of a stag party is to get into Polish vodka.
but don't run through the city disturbing other people. Like I feel like there's a level of space that you should kind of respect. That's my feeling. Yeah. I don't like it when it just like gets too crazy and then I feel uncomfortable. But that's me. And I'm pretty sure a lot of Polish people feel the exact same way.
Yeah.
Getting all these people from other countries coming there and they just mess up their country.
No, I don't think they're messing it up. I think it might maybe be annoying seeing a group of drunk guys being loud and all that, but I mean, I guess they're still enjoying the country and the city, and it is what it is.
Just gotta live with it.
Yeah.
And you're gonna see maybe 5 or 10 drunk guys together. Let's go have some more beers, woohoo! Making a ruckus and stuff
Probably
like
from the
that.
UK.
Don't deal with them. Don't talk to them. Don't hang out with them. They're there for a nice time.
Don't
And
bother
usually when you
the
get in
group
those
of
groups,
drunk
there might be
guys.
fights or fights and vomit. Stay away from them, okay? Just kind of.
Stay away from them because they probably want to fight because
Fights
the UK
or
guys,
vomit.
they always want to fight.
Okay, what is this about the UK guys that I
Do
don't
you
know?
see stag parties like from other countries? Whenever we've been in Europe, have you seen a stag party from like Spanish guys or Italian or French? No, it's just the English that do it.
That's actually so true. Like,
Welsh, English, Irish, Scottish.
yes, but
Those four. I think it's part of their culture, that's why.
they like to travel and party. We party in our own countries. Like, we all had ours there. I had my bachelorette, you had your stag in South Africa. We didn't.
Basics in terms of respect, that's all.
kind of stay away from that. Now, my sixth don't for you is if you're in that group, it's okay if you are though, but if not just if you're in those group, but other ones, the sixth don't you have is you don't drink in public here. Now you go to Germany, I'll take some beers to the park and we'll drink there and do stuff like that. Here you can't do that, and pretty much most everywhere in Poland you cannot drink in public. So don't think, oh, I'll just grab some of the beer here. It's actually pretty good. And I'll go to the square and the park around here, the ring park that used to be the moat around the city. I'll just go and have a beer there with my buddies. No, the cops will not be cool with that. And pretend
It's my favorite, the pashki.
Stop! Skip through these.
like you don't
we
speak
don't want to
Polish.
see food
Don't worry,
now.
stop pretending because you don't. It's
I don't want to
okay.
get hungry again.
It won't get you out of getting
Nope.
the ticket, so do be
Donkey.
careful with that, okay? Now, my seventh don't for you deals with the Jewish quarter.
That looks pretty interesting. That looks like beetroot soup, the barsh, but it looks like it's got some dumplings in.
Now, the Jewish quarter
I
is kind
know
of...
that I'm living in the wrong country. Like,
I think we should seriously consider moving to Poland.
I just like their food a lot. And it's just the flavor. The flavor, like, I never thought I would like beetroot soup. Ever. I thought it was going to be weird. Like, just the thought of it was strange. I mean, I've eaten beetroot in my salads, but I've never drank it warm. So I thought that, but it was I went back for it like as many times as I could, or was allowed to by James, because he like had everything planned out for us. But that was all I wanted to have.
I think it'll be a problem if we move to Poland because I just wouldn't stop eating. So, no,
Yeah, okay.
keep it to holidays.
Go farther south past Wawel Hill and you're going down out that way. And what's cool is there's the synagogues there, the cemetery, there's lots of museums, not just Jewish museums, but other museums that are there. And some people think, oh, it's just the Jewish quarter, so it's just Jewish history stuff there. No, that's actually a good place to go for restaurants, cafes, drinking, partying, and stuff like that. You can go and have a really nice time in that part of town. So if you're looking for a place to go that's not in the very tourist center, check out the Jewish district because there are a lot of cool bars there. Now,
That's the only thing that I think I don't like.
The herring,
Pickled herring.
fish.
I like fish.
But the pickled fish.
I don't like pickled fish. I just don't think that my taste buds like that. I didn't grow up with it. And I've tried it. And when I tried it, I didn't like it. I tried it again. Still didn't like it. I don't like it in other countries. I don't like it in Poland. It's just not for me. I don't know about you.
When something tastes like fish, I generally don't like it. When fish tastes like fish, I don't like it. Fish doesn't always taste like fish. Fish that is fresh doesn't taste fishy.
We don't know what type of fish you've been eating.
Not that type of fish, because I feel like specifically the pickled fish, like it is super, super tangy.
Super fishy. I
Super
wonder
fishy.
why.
Yeah, but if you eat fresh fish, like if you got like hake or whatever like that, it's not as intense, the fish flavor.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Fish does taste like fish, but that intense fish flavor,
Yeah.
I don't enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
And neither do you. I think that's what you're trying to refer to.
yes.
having told you to go to the Jewish Quarter and enjoy yourself there, I guess the eighth don't I need to throw in there is don't expect over-the-top service when you are here in Krakow. In general, Poland isn't the most, best service kind of country out there. And since Krakow gets 10 million tourists coming all the time, it kind of adds up. Lots of tourists, not a lot of service, so don't expect too much in terms of that. Now, my ninth don't for you is don't just stay on the tourist walk. And I would say the tourist walk is if you're coming from the gate in the north of the city, you're coming from the train station, you get to the gate at the top, and you walk down the main street, and you get to the square, and then you walk down the other street down to Wawel Hill, and you kind of stay on that way. And it seems like a lot of the times the 10 million tourists are only on that stretch. Yes, it is gorgeous with beautiful buildings and churches in the square and the cathedral and the castle on the hill and stuff like that, but go explore more of this city. There's more to see here. There's a...
I feel like we do that.
Not necessarily.
We do always go to places that aren't really like on the map. Even if we don't film it, we're always somewhere random.
Oh yeah, from that perspective,
Yes,
definitely. We don't flock always to tourist places. We just kind of go with the flow and then kind of just go and explore.
And see, oh, that looks nice, let's go there. It doesn't matter what it is. We just go there, try it out, go try a different area. Don't like follow the tourist walk. Yes.
Yeah.
Don't stay on the tourist walk. We
Exactly.
don't do
We
that.
kind of diverge and do our own thing.
We take like sideways.
We more or less have an idea of what we want to do.
Just the must-sees and the must-dos, obviously. But there is just a time we like go explore our own things. Go go try restaurants in a random place or take a tram somewhere that's not on the list of to-dos.
Because that's when you find the hidden gems.
Yes.
Da Vinci here you can go see. There's museums out here. If you saw Schindler's List when you were a kid, that factory is here and you can go take a tour of that. It's on the other side of the river. Go see the dragon statue, all kinds of stuff. But don't just stay on that tourist strip. Go out and explore more. And that kind of leads us to the next don't just stay in Krakow. Yes, it is the city you really have to see when you are here in Poland, and it is gorgeous. But
that salt mine is definitely a place that we should visit. I think it's the biggest salt mine in the world, or one of the biggest, and it's the most beautiful. Like, I've seen some really cool videos of it that people have sent us. Auschwitz, we know, one of the biggest concentration camps that the Nazis had, also very popular to visit. There's also the theme park that is also just on the outskirts of Krakow that I heard is super spectacular to visit. And then you've got Zakopane as well, which is like an hour away. So that's like 4 day trips in one.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure about Auschwitz though.
I would want to go just to kind of see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll still see.
It's just always been something that I've wondered, do I want to do it? And for those who have visited Auschwitz, what is the experience like? Would you recommend like that it's something that's, I wouldn't say nice to do.
Worthwhile.
Maybe interesting is, yeah. I'm a little bit skeptical on that one. I don't know how I would feel about that.
But get out, because there's 2 really, really, I want to say wonderful, amazing, cool places to check out, but there's 2 places you really should check out when you go here. If you've got kids, I recommend, or if you don't have kids, go to the salt mines outside of town. That's why Poland was so rich. They had salt, okay? Go to the salt mines. There's a salt mine outside of town they've actually kind of like built a city out of. It's kind of a cool thing to do with kids. But the one thing you really have to do when you do come here to Krakow is going to Auschwitz-Birkenau. That is Auschwitz, the most horrible, terrible concentration camps the Nazis had was right by here in Krakow. And you go.
So if it's the most horrible place to go,
trying to figure out.
Why would you want to go?
Yeah,
but it's like a standard thing.
You have to go, definitely. It's the most horrible place. Yeah, I don't know. It's like
go there and you see the mass slaughter that happened there. I mean, don't be surprised if you're in tears. Don't be surprised if it moves you when you go there. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps remembering going there. And when you go to Birkenau, because there's Auschwitz, which is more like a built-up building kind of stuff, looks like a community. Then you go to Birkenau, where it has the lager, basically warehouses for the people, and you see those train tracks going in, and you hear the stories about what happened there, where the people had to walk down to they're either going to die or you get to work till you die. I mean, it's heartbreaking when you go there, but it's something you really should do when you're here. If you have kids, I mean, we want to take. I mean, I'm sad that the kids aren't with me this time because I want to take them there so they can learn about the history and they can learn about these things, because it is one of the most horrible things to happen in human history, and we can't just forget about it. So that's one of the things you want to go and see the worst of the worst.
I guess so.
That's where.
I guess it's a good thing, especially for you. You've been always such a big fan of history, and
not a fan of what happened, but a fan. I do enjoy history.
Like
and
what has happened.
I do enjoy seeing that perspective, but I get your feeling of like, why would you want to go walk in a place that's going to make you feel super sad and super depressed? But I think, like he said, and probably Poles probably feel the exact same way. It's good to remember what happened and not just forget about it and push it aside. Like, go feel that feeling, go not mourn, but go and see what like cruel things happen in this world so that it can stay relevant for generations to come. I think that's probably what many people will tell you as well.
I guess, and don't forget about all those who lost their lives there. Remembrance, pay respects. That's definitely, if I had to go there, that's what I would do. I would go take some flowers and at least put it somewhere nice, because yeah, that's definitely like the reason why I would go, pay my respects.
that's where it happened, but it's something you really should do, okay? My next don't for you is if you do go to Auschwitz, a lot of people feel like they have to do a tour. Don't feel obligated to take a tour when you are there. If you go from like 8 to 10 in the morning or after 4 in the afternoon, you can go on your own and explore on your own. The signage there is really good, so you can read on your own and kind of go through. Because you take the tour, you won't go at your own pace, you might get stuck in these other things, and sometimes the groups get so big, you're like, well, I could just listen to part of theirs because everybody's gonna notice that I didn't pay for that part, okay? And then my last don't for here in Krakow is don't forget to look on your ticket and make sure it says KRK. That is the airplane code for Krakow. A lot of times when you're flying, sometimes they say, oh, we'll send you to Krakow. They might send you to Katowice, which is like an hour away from here. And if you're a tourist that wants to come here and you're like, I can't find a good deal to Krakow, you actually might want to look for a flight to Katowice instead, because you can get a good deal there too as well to give you more options. But just make sure, don't forget to look, because am I going to KRK, which is Krakow, or somewhere else? So anyway, I hope this helps you enjoy more of Krakow. It is a fantastic city. I highly recommend it. It's one of the best smaller towns in Europe. Actually, one of the better towns to visit all over Europe anyway. If you want to learn more, things that might shock you when you come to Poland, what you should eat when you're here. Yes, there's more than pierogi here and cabbage, though there's a lot of pierogi and cabbage. Check us out on our website at Walter's World.
I think though that this video has been, it's good knowledge, but like it's stuff like I know Polish cuisine. I feel like we're pretty good experts on it. And I don't think that Krakow is a small city. I think it's actually a pretty major city in Poland. I'd even go to say though that Wrocław, just like looking at this guy's videos, is pretty much more beautiful in terms of their buildings. Like I found Wrocław to have a lot more color.
Yeah, but also I don't think you're seeing a lot of the old town and the beautiful buildings in this video. Like you have to, and you know that this is the case. Seeing the things on someone else's screen or on someone else's phone is not the same as seeing it in person. It is completely different. So I think you'll only be able to make that judgment once we go there.
Well, we are planning it, so if you've got any cool recommendations, then please let us know. I think we've actually got a couple of invites for dinner or lunch.
Yeah.
There's actually a couple of viewers that have reached out to us, which we are definitely going to link up with in Krakow and, get to know where are the cool places to visit and also to not do the touristy things.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see mushroom foraging over here, so
Yes.
that's one thing that I want to do.
That's on my to-do list, really.
I just don't want to die. Like many people say, like, be careful because you can't just pick any mushroom, which I know. So
Yeah.
I only will go with like someone that's like a doctor, like a PhD.
No, just go with someone that knows what they're doing, like a professional mushroom picker.
But if you've got any cool recommendations, then let us know. I'm pretty excited to go back to Poland.
Yes.
Not only for the adventure, but for the food.
Yeah, the culture and the people and the delicious vodka.
Vodka.
Yes. I never thought I'd say it, but I like it.
I think it was because it was very cold.
It's not just that it was very cold, it was just smooth. It was smooth. Don't you remember how easy it was to drink?
We should go to a vodka festival.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah.
Instead of a wine festival that we do in South Africa, we go to a vodka festival.
Like, does that even exist?
Maybe. We'll see. But if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so that you stay up to date with all of our latest videos. Until next time, this is Beyond Borders.
Over and out.